We are glad also to have for his conclusion remarks the Gian Paolo Manzella, who's Undersecretary at the Economic Development Ministry of the Italian government. Welcome, Manzella. Thanks for joining us and thanks for your time.
Thank you. Do you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me here for these conclusions. Thank you for the World Manufacturing Forum, because I think it gives an international perspective, which is something very much needed. I think that touches on manufacturing at a crucial moment for its development, because it faces the challenges of green transaction, it faces the challenges of digital transactions, it faces the challenge of artificial intelligence, which is a challenge in itself. And finally, for this moment, because this is a tragic moment for all of us, really in a global perspective, but in these tragic moments, we have also to keep staring to the future. And this initiative is fully into the future, so it provides really a perspective which helps us in our next steps. COVID-19 has been a revolution. It's brought a revolution in our lives, in our public services, in our industries, and especially manufacturing. I think it showed by many means how much things were more fragile than we thought. I'm thinking about supply chains, I'm thinking about globalization, I'm thinking about a series of things that were clear up to some months ago, and that suddenly come into question. At least their dimension comes into question. I think that COVID implies a change for manufacturing and implies a great change also for the state, simply because it has shown that the importance of time, the importance of speed, the importance of really having a state that facilitates industry in these moments of difficulty, and it does it with a new perspective and a modern perspective. I think that the main aim we have is to build industrial ecosystems. This is a crucial expression in European industrial policy documentation brought by Monsieur Breton. By industrial ecosystem, we are thinking and we mean areas of activity where research centers, universities, large companies, small companies, startups are all intertwined among them, and they work together with the same language, with the same objectives, with a full exchange among different experiences. And this is what we have to build. To do so, I think that we have to move in some clear directions. The first one, I heard that you have got some that you had some problems in communication. The first one is to ensure an ultra broadband communication and a real strong network, because our future, either in the private sector, either in the public sector, either in enterprise or in family, is in connection. So this must be the first thing to do. So networks is the first word. The second word is people. We have to change the education system. We have to move towards creativity, towards entrepreneurship, towards multidisciplinarity. We have to help our youth to be ready for the future. And in this respect, I think very much we have to introduce startup culture in our schools, in our universities. So networks is the first thing. People is the second thing, where when I speak about education, I speak about education from a young age to continuous learning. So we have continuously to adapt to an evolving world. Third thing is work with companies. Bring innovation into companies, put companies in touch with the universities, with research centers, put people from creative industries into companies, traditional companies, really create a contamination between different languages, between different approaches, because I think that contamination is the world, and collaboration are the words of the future. In all this, there is a cultural move that the state must do. So this is the fourth aspect. We have to work strongly to convince about the cruciality of the industry. We have a very clear political discourse in Europe about that. It's about 10 years that the European Commission speaks about the industrial renaissance of Europe. We have to continue banging on this, about the centrality and the cruciality of industry. Secondly, we have to provide steadiness. We have to provide incentives that are kept for years. Industry 4.0 is in Italy is a good example. I think we have to move to make clear to the entrepreneurs that this is an incentive scheme which will stay for a long time, and therefore will allow them to be able to focus and concentrate investments on a long run. Thirdly, we have to reassure about the changes that innovation will make. We have reassure about 5G, for example. We have to reassure and work about artificial intelligence, making understand that artificial intelligence must be humanocentric and must not be a mechanism that in a way dehumanize our societies. So I think all the items you touched on these seminars are crucial. We have, for example, again, to speak about robots, make people understand about the fact that robots are not killing jobs. They are simply shifting jobs, and they call on us to adapt to a changing world. So thank you very much for all the elements you touched in these 2 days of work, and for the spirit and for the perspective. This is a world challenge, changing our manufacturing system. If I may say, for Europeans and Italians is a challenge in the challenge, because manufacturing is at the heart of European culture and at the heart of Italian culture. And I want to reassure, I want to sustain all the community that is around manufacturing today. The fact that in our role as members of the Italian government, in the European perspective, will always be on the side of a manufacturing which is green, which is digital, which is fully engaged in stakeholding, which is fully engaged in innovation, in dialogue with research and universities. So I think we are very much the same objectives, and I look forward to continue working together and continue having from a community like yours suggestions and proposals to improve our policy action, because I think it's crucial in this moment to have a strong dialogue, simply because time is our scarcest resource.
And this is a dialogue forum, so we thank you so much for your address and
Welcome.
for bringing here the position and the intentions of the Italian government. Paolo Manzella, Undersecretary of the Economic Development of the Italian government. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.